What comes in your mind if you heard about Thailand?
Clean people, Mr. Burira!
Love.
But there are a lot to see about this country, more than what we saw online. What about its economy? Over the last 4 decades, Thailand has made a remarkable progress in social and economic development, moving from a low income to an upper income country in less than a generation. As such, Thailand has been a widely cited development success story with sustained strong growth and impressive poverty reduction. The economic growth of Thailand has ups and downs since 1960s, but one of the significant economic crises happens on July 1997. The Thai government ran out of foreign currency, no longer able to support the exchange rate. The government was forced to seek assistance from International Monetary Fund. Thailand has successfully transformed its economy from agriculture to export-oriented manufacturing, while integrating key manufacturing production into the regional value chain, particularly in automobiles and electronics. Moreover, it has established a regional hub for key transport and logistics with world-class airport, while its economic base has been diversified into tourism, healthcare, and other services. Commercial banks are also an important part of Thailand's economy. Not only do they provide consumers with essential service, but they also help create capital and liquidity in the market. Commercial banks play a role in creation of credit, which leads to an increase in production, employment, and consumer spending, thereby boosting the economy. Becoming a bioeconomy leader is also a new ambition of Thai government. One of 10 targeted growth engine industry under the new Thailand 4.0 growth model, which focuses on the concept of inclusion, productive, and green growth to enhance the country's competitiveness and economic development. The mainstay of the country's socio-economic foundation is currently transitioning to smart farming. Thailand's energy market is centered around the state-owned Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand, which is responsible for generating, transmitting, and wholesaling electricity, and whose own generating capacity accounted for 33% of Thailand's total electricity generating capacity as of the end of 2019. Even before the pandemic, property demand was weakening in Thailand. That's a little strange because rental income yields on luxury condominiums are attractive, and Bangkok is as popular as a regional hub. In fact, residential property prices continue to rise, yet transactions are down and new constructions has been falling. On a quarterly basis, house prices increased 2.3% in Q1 2020. Could Thailand's continuing political uncertainty be jinxing the market? Thailand is one of the founding members of ASEAN, together with Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Singapore. The ASEAN Declaration or Bangkok Declaration was signed on August 8, 1967 at Saran Rom Palace, Bangkok. As stipulated in the Bangkok Declaration, ASEAN was established with an aim to promote peace and stability and accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region through joint endeavors in a spirit of equality and partnership. Thailand has invested significantly in its infrastructure, making communication and access to location easier. These two factors alone improve tourism, but the real reason Thailand is so popular is the people, the culture, and the natural environment. Tourism worldwide in 2017 accounted for 10.4% of the global GDP and 313 million jobs, or 9.9% of the total employment. Most governments view tourism as an easy moneymaker and a shortcut of economic development. Tourism success is measured by the number of visitors. To accommodate foreign visitors, the Thai government established a separate tourism police force and offices in the major tourist areas and its own central emergency telephone number.
Miss Grand, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice.
The World Bank Human Capital Index, which measures the productivity level for the next generation of workers relative to their full potential if all education and health outcomes were maximized. Uneven education quality is a big challenge for Thailand. A Thai child born today can expect to obtain 12.7 years of schooling before the age of 18. However, once adjusted for quality of learning, that only amounts to 8.7 years of schooling, indicating a gap of 3 years. Over the past 15 years, Thailand's prevalence of diabetes and hypertension have tripled and quadrupled, respectively, and combined with high rates of road injuries has negatively affected adult survival rate.
Everything you know is in your mind.
All of this will eventually affect the workforce of the country when population will continue to decline. Currently, 72% of Thailand's general public expenditures being spent in Bangkok, which is home of 17% of country's population and produces 26% of the GDP. In contrast, the Northeast, which holds 34% of the country's population, receives 6% of the expenditures.
Are you all my personal dreams?
Looking ahead, Thailand could focus on improving the efficiency and effectiveness of public spending to help counteract regional disparities in human development and inequality. Poverty declined substantially over the last 30 years from 65.2 in 1988 to 9.85 in 2018. However, between 2015 and 2018, the poverty rate in Thailand increased from 7.2 to 9.8%, and the absolute number of people living in poverty rose from 4.85 million to more than 6.7 million. The increase in poverty in 2018 was widespread, occurring in all regions and in 61 out of 77 provinces.
Help me! Help me! Nigga! Help me!
Thailand's property market was in a slow but consistent upward trend for over a decade until 2020. The main reason is the increasing number of foreigners that visited or decided to live in Thailand. The Bank of Thailand held its interest rate steady at 0.5% during its scheduled meeting in March to save its limited policy space, allowing fiscal policy to do the heavy lifting in reviving the economy. They expected the central bank to hold its interest rate steady this year and lean on other tools to support the economy if needed before it considered further depleting its limited conventional policy space. Thailand has been successful in stemming the tide of COVID-19 coronavirus infections over the last few months. Its impact to Thailand's economy has been severe and has led already to widespread job losses, affecting middle-class households and the poor alike and threatening hard-won gains in poverty reduction of the country. After COVID-19 hits Thailand, about 500 migrant workers returned home before the border closure, resulting in a labor shortage in many industries. With the slowdown in export and tourism so far, the incomes of local businesses and their employees have declined.